welcome to Beacon English Podcast.
Mm.
So we've been given this really interesting collection of materials, notes, scenarios, all focused on practical, functional English.
Mm-hmm.
And our mission today is to take all this and do a deep dive into the language you need for, well, for one of the most complex public spaces out there,
Yeah.
the modern shopping mall.
That is such a perfect topic. It really is. Because a mall, when you think about it, it's like its own little city.
A small city, yeah.
It's this contained ecosystem. And to just, get by in there, you are forced to use almost every essential type of English, from asking for help to making a purchase.
So if you can handle a busy mall.
If you can handle the mall, you are absolutely ready for just about any other public interaction. It's true.
I love that. It's like the ultimate training ground. Okay, so we're going to treat this material as more than just a list of words. It's a blueprint for conversation. We'll break it down into three main areas. First, just mapping the place out. What are the basic words, the vocabulary for the environment? Second, that high-pressure moment of buying clothes and, paying for them.
The transaction, yeah.
And third, what I think is maybe the most important, mastering the phrases for navigation, especially when you feel completely and totally lost.
And we should probably go slow, right? Not just define words, but really get into the context, the why, so you can feel confident using them.
Absolutely. It's all about confidence.
So let's start with the map. Segment 1. The basic nouns, what things are called inside this giant building.
Right.
And one of the first things I notice here is how often you can actually use different words for the same thing. It seems like there's some flexibility.
There is, and that's a great place to start because it can be a source of stress for learners. For instance, the classic one, shop versus store.
Right. Is there a difference? Does it matter?
Well, the good news is, for general use, especially in North American English, it really doesn't. You can say clothes shop, you can say shoes store.
Yeah.
Well, they're perfectly fine. So you don't need to worry about getting it wrong.
Not at all. It immediately lowers the stress. And you see the same thing with entertainment, right? If you want to see a film.
You can go to the movie theater or the cinema.
Exactly. Both words are used. It just depends on where you are, maybe who you're talking to, but everyone will understand you.
Okay, so that's comforting.
Yeah.
But then there's some areas where the words are, well, they're very specific.
Yes. Very precise. The material points out a good one, like the difference between a small shop that sells one type of thing, like a bookstore.
Which only sells books.
Right. Versus what's often called a department store.
Ah, okay, so that's a useful distinction. A department store is one of those huge places that sells, I don't know, clothes and makeup and things for your house, all under one roof.
Exactly. And a bookstore is specialized. And speaking of special zones, there's the one place everyone ends up eventually, the food court.
Food court, yes.
And this is such a great example of functional language. The sources describe it perfectly. It isn't one big restaurant. It's a huge open area.
With all those tables in the middle.
With all the shared tables, exactly.
Yeah.
And then all around the outside, you have lots of little small restaurants, pizza, hamburgers, Chinese food, everything.
And the vocabulary there is so interesting because it's not just about the food itself, it's the infrastructure of it.
Yeah.
You need to know the word for the shared tables.
And the separate counters or kiosks where you order. And crucially, the line you have to stand in, or queue, as some people might say.
It forces you to actually interact with the space around you.
It really does. I like how the material also mentioned the bookstore. It described it as often being quiet.
Right, a calm space.
It is. And it's a nice contrast, isn't it? You have the total chaos and noise of the food court.
Yeah.
And then the complete calm of a specialty shop like a bookstore. Different spaces, different volumes, different behaviors.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so once we kind of have the lay of the land, the real test begins, the purchase. So let's move on to that transactional language. We'll focus on buying clothes. And the scenario we're using from the material is finding a nice red shirt.
Okay. And this is where the pressure goes up because now you have to talk to someone, a staff member.
Right. So you find the red shirt. What's the very first conversation you need to have?
All about size.
Size. Okay, so what if I'm from another country? I don't know my number size in this new system. How do I even ask?
That is a fantastic question. You don't need to know the numbers. You just need to know the letters, the abbreviations.
Ah.
So small is S, medium is M, and large is L. And if you know those three letters, you're pretty much set.
So I can just look for the letter on the tag.
You can. Or you can hold up the shirt and ask an assistant, excuse me, do you have this in a medium or in an M?
And what if I'm not sure?
Even better, you can ask, what size do you think would fit me? Shift the responsibility to the expert. They're happy to help.
That's a great tip. Okay, so I have the shirt in my hand in the right size. Now we get to that essential phrase, the phrasal verb, try it on.
Yes. That phrase is, you just can't do without it. It's indispensable. It means, put the clothes on your body to see if they fit.
But why is that phrase so important? Why can't I just say, can I wear this?
And that's where the language gets really interesting. It's about the nuance.
Okay.
To wear, something implies you're going to use it regularly, you're going to keep it, but try it on is specifically about the test, the fitting.
So if I said, can I wear this to a shop assistant?
They might get confused. They might think you're asking to just walk out of the store with it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But by using try it on, you are sending a very clear signal. You're saying, I'm putting this on for a minute in a special room to check the fit, and then I'll decide if I want to buy it.
So it's all about communicating your intent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that test happens in a specific place, the fitting room.
Or sometimes it's called the changing room.
All right. Yes, both are common. And here's a little cultural tip from the Mex. Sometimes a worker will stop you and ask, how many items do you have before you go in?
Oh, right. And they give you a little plastic number.
They do. Now, don't be nervous about that. It's not about trust. It's just for them to keep track of the clothes. It's inventory management.
So what should I say?
Just be direct and polite. I have 3 items, or 3, please. Simple.
Okay. So I go and I look in the mirror and I decide the red shirt looks great. It's perfect. Now it's time for the final part.
Now we move to segment 3, the transaction. So you take your shirt up to the front of the shop and you get in the line.
And this is where you need to be confident with some simple, direct language.
And the person you're going to talk to is the cashier. That's the key role here. The person who takes the money.
The cashier will scan the shirt and tell me the price. Let's say it's $20.
Right. And then they will almost always ask you a question to start the interaction. Usually, how will you be paying today? Or more simply, will that be cash or card?
Okay, cash or card. We know what those are. But the response is what's important.
It is. If you're paying with paper money and coins, you just say, cash, please. If you use a card, you'll say card. But then there might be another question.
What's that?
With a card, they might ask debit or credit, or the machine will prompt you. So you need to know which kind of card you have.
That's a really important detail, knowing the difference between debit and credit.
It's essential. But we can add a layer here to make this even more powerful for a learner. Before the cashier even tells you the price, a really confident shopper could ask a question themselves.
Like what?
Like, is this shirt on sale? Or are there any discounts today?
Ooh, that's smart. That changes the whole dynamic. You're not just passively paying, you're actively engaging.
You are. Why pay the full $20 if you don't have to?
I love that. Okay, so the payment is done. I paid. And then the cashier hands me that crucial little piece of paper.
The receipt. And this might be the single most important word in the entire process.
Really? More important than price or size?
I think so. Because you might think, oh, it's just paper, I'll throw it away. But so what here is huge. The receipt is your proof of purchase.
And why is that proof so critical?
Because what if you get home and you realize the red shirt is actually the wrong size? Or there's a small hole in it you didn't see?
Okay.
You need that receipt to return the shirt to the shop and get your money back, or to exchange it for a different one. Without the receipt, most shops will just say, sorry, we can't help you.
So the lesson is always take the receipt.
Always take it and keep it, at least for a little while. It's your evidence.
That is practical gold.
Okay.
Shopping is done. I have my shirt. I have my receipt. But now I'm hungry. So it's time to take all these skills over to the food court. Segment 4.
Yes. Politeness and ordering food. And this is where things happen fast. The communication needs to be really clear and efficient.
Because there's a long line behind you.
Exactly. Everyone is waiting. So we're at the pizza place. Before you even get to the counter, the first thing you need to do is look at the menu.
Read the list of food.
Not just the food. Read the prices. See what the different sizes are. Be prepared before it's your turn.
Okay, I'm ready. I get to the front. And the cashier's opening line is almost always the same. Right?
Almost always.
Yeah.
A polite standard question. Hello, what would you like? Or what can I get for you?
And my answer needs to be very structured, clear, and quick.
Perfect. You need 3 things. The amount, the item, and politeness. So you don't just point and grunt pizza.
Right.
Say, I would like 1 slice of cheese pizza, please. Specifying slice is key so you don't accidentally buy a whole pizza.
And of course, add that please at the end.
Always. But there's a follow-up question that always trips people up, a really common one.
Let me guess. For here or to go?
That's the one, and if you're not expecting it, it just sounds like nonsense.
So what does it mean?
It's simple. For here means you're going to eat it at one of the tables in the food court. To go means you want them to put it in a bag so you can take it out of the mall.
And my answer should just be,
Just for here, please. Or to go. That's all they need.
okay, what about another complication? The deal or the combo?
Yes, the combo meal. The cashier might ask, would you like to make that a combo? And that usually means adding a drink and maybe some fries for a little extra money.
So if I say yes, I need to be ready for the next question.
Exactly. They'll say, okay, what would you like to drink? So you have to be ready to answer right away. A large water, please. Again, amount, item, politeness.
It's like a high-speed social negotiation.
It really is. And if you want to get really advanced, you can even make changes. You can say, can I have the burger but with no onions, please? That's modification. That shows real competence.
I love that. Okay, we have the shirt, we have the food. But now, a final, and maybe the most stressful scenario. I'm full, I'm tired, and I'm lost. Segment 5, navigation.
And this section has probably the most useful, versatile phrase in the entire English language for getting help.
Okay, the scenario is, I desperately need to find the bathroom. Or the restroom. They're the same thing.
Yes. But before you ask your question, before a single word comes out of your mouth about directions, you have to do one thing first.
Be polite.
Be polite. You cannot just walk up to a stranger and demand information. The magic starter phrase always is, excuse me.
It's like a polite little signal that you need help.
It is. It gets their attention without being rude. You say, excuse me, you make eye contact, you smile.
And then comes the magic question.
Then the magic question. You combine the polite start with what you need. And the template is beautiful. Excuse me, where is the location?
And you can just plug in anything there.
Anything. That's why it's so powerful. It works for everything we just talked about. Excuse me, where is the food court? Excuse me, where is the bookstore?
Excuse me, where is the exit?
It is your #1 tool for navigating public life.
Okay, so I ask the question, and then the person gives me an answer, which, well, that's a whole new set of vocabulary, right? Directions.
It is, but usually they keep it very simple. You just need to listen for a few key phrases.
Like what?
You need to know go straight, which just means keep walking forward, and then turn left or turn right.
Go straight, turn left, turn right. Got it.
And maybe one more. It's on your left or it's on your right, which just means the place will appear on that side of you as you walk.
So if I can understand those 4 or 5 basic phrases, I can complete the loop.
Yeah.
I asked politely, I got a clear answer, and I understood it.
You're no longer lost. You are moving with purpose. And this is why the mall is such an amazing practice environment. It's this dense space where you are forced to practice everything at once. You're reading signs, like exit signs.
Yeah.
You're listening to people talk at natural speed. And you're talking.
In all these different high-stakes, quick interactions, wow,
Yeah.
we really did cover a lot. Finding and buying the shirt, ordering the food, finding the bathroom. So the key takeaways really seem to be confidence in that transactional speech, remembering S, M, L for sizes, knowing the receipt is your proof.
And having that magic question, excuse me, where is, ready to go at all times.
It really is about reducing that feeling of being overwhelmed. You know, it's funny, the source material had a little prompt at the end asking the learner what their favorite part of the mall is. And a lot of times, it's the quiet places.
The bookstore or the cinema, yeah.
We spent all this time talking about talking, but what about practicing your English when you're not talking, when you're just by yourself?
And that's the perfect place to leave our listeners. That's the provocative thought I want you to take with you. You don't always have to speak to practice English.
Oh, so.
Think about those quiet spaces, that bookstore. How can you use a place like that to practice English just by observing, by reading? You can look at all the signs, the book titles, the categories, the sale signs, even the tiny little warnings on things.
You're using the environment as a passive classroom.
You are building your vocabulary and your comprehension without any of the stress of having a conversation. It's powerful.
That's a profound thought. So, a challenge then.
Here's the challenge for you, the listener.
Yeah.
This week, go to any public place, a mall, a supermarket, a park, anywhere, and your mission is to find and identify 3 English signs or labels that you've never really paid attention to before.
Just 3.
Just 3. Write them down, figure out what they mean, what their purpose is. That is real-world active learning.
It sounds like a perfect mission. Thank you so much for walking us through all these incredibly useful skills today.
My pleasure. Hopefully your next trip to any busy place will feel a lot more confident.
We hope you feel ready to use these phrases and really take control of the conversation.